going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 15, the show, Diamond Dynasty video. We are back for another weekly edition of This Week in Major League Baseball, our weekly series here on YouTube, where we talk about everything going on in the majors over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. And as always, guys, if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss in next week's episode, feel free to leave them in the comment section of this video or hit me up on Twitter. So let's jump right on into this week's big news. We had our first post-All-Star break trade of the year, and it was not a blockbuster trade, but a big move for the Houston Astros. They acquire Scott Kazmir, starting pitcher from the Oakland A's. The A's are obviously going to be big sellers for this year's trade deadline. They're almost always active during the trade deadline, but they have no shot of a wild card or postseason chances. So they're going to be dumping some players, and Kazmir is the first to go. The Astros get another nice pitcher, another nice left-hander, another nice pitcher that can keep the ball on the ground and not give up so many home runs. Though Kazmir is getting a little old, he's getting a little up there in age, so this is more so of a rent-a-player type deal, and those are the types of deals that we are going to see a lot of. So we are approaching the trade deadline. This is a very, very exciting time for baseball. It's always fun to see where all the players move and go and things like that. So I'd love to hear your comments. Where do you think some guys are going to go? Some of the big names that we've heard so far are Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija, Cole Hamels. David Price is one of them too as well. You would be kind of shocked to hear his name, being that he was just traded last year. But remember, a big part of the reason why the Rays traded him last year is because they didn't think they'd be able to sign him, and he's going to be a free agent this summer, or I should say this winter. And it's kind of the same thing that's happening right now with the Tigers. I don't think that they feel comfortable paying him all this money. He's about to be 30 years old. They want to keep him, but they just don't feel confident they can get a deal done with him. So it's possible that the Tigers may trade David Price, and that's very, very interesting. You know, they're only 3 games back from one of the wild card spots as it stands right now. They obviously have a very good team waiting for Miguel Cabrera to get back from his injury. So it'd be interesting to see if David Price goes. Some of the rumored teams that have interest are the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Blue Jays. I'd be really interested to see David Price with the Chicago Cubs. I think that would be a nice fit for him. Well, I don't know if it's a nice fit for him, but it's a nice fit for what I would like to see. I mean, him, John Lester, Jake Arrieta, and all those young bats that they have, that would be very exciting. And, he would be able to reunite with Joe Madden, his former coach over there in Tampa Bay. So Cespedes, I guess, is another guy that, could be on the move for the Tigers. Same situation as the David Price. He's going to be a free agent this summer. They would like to keep him, but they don't know if they can, so they may want to get some type of value for him. Yasiel Puig from the Dodgers apparently could be on the move for the Dodgers. That's very, very interesting. It just means that they have a lot of confidence in, I believe, Jock Peterson and some of these younger guys that are on the team, that they, feel that they don't need him. They have been winning. He hasn't really played a ton this year and hasn't really played great this year when he has played, and they've been winning without him. I think the biggest concern right now the Dodgers have is pitching. They, their bullpen and relievers were really, really good to start the season out, but they've been struggling. Basically, Kenley Jansen is the only person out of the bullpen, which is obviously their closer, that has been pitching well for the last, couple weeks, almost a month, and they need help starting pitching-wise. Obviously have Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw, but a bunch of their pitchers are out for the season and just haven't been performing. So look for the Dodgers to be making some moves, maybe looking to go after Johnny Cueto, Mike Leake, Jeff Samardzija, Cole Hamels, some of the other guys that I mentioned. The San Diego Padres, guys, remember when they made all those moves before the season started, and pretty much everybody, handed them the divisional title or thought that they were going to be, some team to reckon with? Well, they, according to Ken Rosenthal from Fox, are basically sellers, man. They are giving up right now. I mean, they're just as good as my Rockies. Well, they're 3 games ahead of my Rockies, but 44 and 51, 9.5 back from the divisional lead. It looks like they're willing to get rid of just about anybody but Tyson Ross, who is, you know, a good young pitcher. So that means Andrew Cashner could be on the move. You know, he was one of those guys that last year, before his injury, had tons of promise. Then he got hurt. He never came back last season. This year, he just hasn't been what I think everybody expected and wanted him to be. So Andrew Cashner could be on the move. Speaking of the NL West and my Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez could be out of here, man. It pains me to see that or hear that might happen. He's playing very well. He started off the season terrible. He was awful, I'll admit it. But if you look at his average, his on-base percentage over or each month, he's just getting better and better. And he could be on the move. Obviously, money is a factor. But from what I've read, the Mets and the Angels could be players for Carlos Gonzalez. You know, the Mets need help. They have good pitching. They just need help with the bats. And the Angels, I'd like to see him land there. If he had to go, which I don't want him to go, I'd like to see him land at the in Anaheim or in LA with the Angels and Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. That would be just another explosive bat for pitchers to have to deal with when facing the Angels. So some other teams that could be looking for pitching, and that's usually the exciting part for me is the pitching, the guys going after pitching, the teams going after pitching. But the Blue Jays are not out of it yet. In the AL East, they are 5.5 games back, so they're not conceding yet. They're looking for pitching help. The Dodgers, we mentioned, the Angels, I think, should go after pitchers. If David Price is going to leave Detroit, Detroit might need to fill that void as well, so look for them to maybe make some moves. And I never expect a trade deadline to go by without the Red Sox being active, so maybe we'll see them make some moves. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.